The day began like any other, the sun rising slowly over the horizon as I prepared for another long day at the office. My mind was cluttered with numbers, projections, and the weight of expectations that came with being the CEO of a thriving company. Yet, there was an emptiness gnawing at my chest, a hollow echo of a life that once was. Memories of my wife, Sarah, flooded my thoughts like a tidal wave, each one crashing into the next, reminding me of the life we had built together before everything fell apart. She had been my anchor, my confidant, and the love of my life until that fateful day when she vanished without a trace. I had searched for her relentlessly, but after years of fruitless searching, I had come to terms with the unbearable truth. She was gone, and I had to move forward, no matter how difficult that felt. As I walked through the sleek glass doors of the office, the world outside faded away, and the hum of the corporate machine enveloped me. My assistant, Lisa, greeted me with her usual bright smile, but even her enthusiasm couldn't pierce the fog of sorrow that hung over me. I buried myself in emails and meetings, each minute dragging on endlessly, the clock mocking me with its relentless ticking. Just when I thought I could drown out the pain, a commotion at the entrance caught my attention. Curiosity tugged at me, and I stepped out of my office to investigate. As I approached the lobby, I saw a small crowd gathered around someone who looked strikingly familiar. It was a little girl, her hair cascading in golden waves, and her eyes sparkling with a mixture of innocence and mischief. My heart raced as I took in her features, a haunting resemblance to Sarah. I couldn't breathe. There was something almost ethereal about her, the way she moved through the crowd as if she were a beam of light cutting through the grayness of the day. I felt an inexplicable pull towards her, an urge to reach out and discover who she was and why she was here. I squeezed through the throng of employees, my heart pounding in my ears. The moment she turned to face me, I froze, the world around us vanishing into oblivion. "Daddy!" she exclaimed, her voice ringing like a chime in the stillness. A wave of shock crashed over me, and I felt my knees weaken. It was as if the ground beneath me had given way, and I was falling into a chasm of confusion and disbelief. I hadn't seen her since she was a baby, just a few months old, before Sarah's disappearance shattered our lives. The years had blurred my memories, but the laughter and the warmth of that little girl lingered like a ghost in my heart. "You're my daddy," she insisted, and I struggled to comprehend the reality of her words. "Who are you?" My voice trembled, barely above a whisper. She took a small step closer, her tiny hands clutching a worn-out teddy bear, the kind that had been loved and cherished through countless adventures. The way she looked at me, with unyielding certainty, made me question everything I thought I knew. "I'm Lily," she said, her small frame radiating confidence that belied her age. "Mommy told me to find you." The air shifted, thick with an overwhelming blend of hope and dread. My mind raced, memories of Sarah's laughter mingling with the heartache of her absence. How could this be happening? How could my heart be thrust into such a whirlwind of emotions in a matter of seconds? "Lily," I repeated, as if saying her name would anchor me in this surreal moment. "Where is your mother?" The question slipped out before I could stop myself, an instinctive plea that echoed the desperation within me. She looked down, her tiny fingers fidgeting with the bear's ear. "Mommy is here, but she's hiding," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. The words pierced through my heart, igniting a flicker of hope, but the fear quickly followed. What did she mean by hiding? My mind spun with possibilities. Was Sarah alive? Had she been watching us from the shadows all this time? The questions clawed at me, each one more frantic than the last. Before I could press further, Lisa appeared beside me, her eyes wide with concern. "Is everything all right, sir?" she asked, glancing between me and the little girl. I barely registered her presence, my focus solely on Lily. "This is my daughter," I said, the weight of the revelation crashing over me like a tidal wave. The truth felt surreal, as if I were living someone else's life. Lisa's brows furrowed in confusion, and she glanced back at Lily before she spoke again, her voice cautious. "But how?" The question lingered in the air, heavy with implications that none of us were prepared to face. I knelt down to Lily's level, searching her eyes for answers, for some sign that this was real. "Lily, where is your mother?" My voice was a mixture of urgency and fear, and I felt the walls of reality closing in around me. She hesitated for a moment, her gaze drifting away as if she were searching for the right words. "She said I should come to you when I was 7. Lily finally said, her voice steadier now. Today is my 7th birthday. A chill ran down my spine. How could this be possible? Time had moved on, and yet, here she was, standing before me, a living memory of all I had lost. The weight of the moment pressed down on me, and I struggled to grasp the enormity of it all. My heart raced as I looked into her eyes, the innocence and familiarity stirring emotions I thought I had buried long ago. I wanted to believe, to hope against hope, that Sarah was alive, that she had not simply vanished, but had instead been waiting for this moment. But questions flooded my mind, doubts gnawing at the edges of my hope. I needed answers, and I needed them now. As I knelt there, staring into the eyes of my daughter, the world around me seemed to fade into a blur. Lily's presence was both a balm and a torment, a reminder of everything I had lost, and everything I had yearned for. I wanted to reach out, to pull her into my arms and cradle her like I had always envisioned doing, but the weight of uncertainty anchored me in place. "Lily," I said gently, my voice trembling, "what do you mean your mother is hiding? Where is she?" Each word felt like a fragile lifeline thrown into the abyss, my heart racing at the thought of Sarah's return. Lily clutched her teddy bear tighter, her innocent eyes filled with a mixture of excitement and worry. "Mommy said it was too dangerous for her to come out, but she's here, Daddy. I promise." The conviction in her voice ignited a flicker of hope within me, but the shadows of doubt quickly snuffed it out. I had to know. I had to push past the surface of this surreal encounter. "What do you mean it's dangerous? Why can't she just come home?" I asked, my voice rising slightly, the desperation spilling over. I was treading on thin ice, and with every question, I felt the ground shift beneath me. Lily's gaze dropped again, and I could see the emotions swirling within her. Fear, confusion, hope. I don't know everything," she whispered, "but Mommy said she was looking for something, and she needed my help. That's why she sent me to find you." I held my breath, my heart pounding loudly in my chest. What could possibly be so important that it required a 7-year-old's help? And why had Sarah chosen to send Lily to me now, after all these years? The pieces of this puzzle felt scattered, and I was desperate to put them together. I looked around, half expecting someone to step forward and explain this dreamlike scenario. But it was just me, Lily, and the weight of the unanswered questions hanging thick in the air. "What did she say about where she is?" I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. "Can you help me find her?" Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. "I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her, Daddy." A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. "All right, Lily, we will be careful. But I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. "I'll try." Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. "Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it?" I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. "Yes, let's go to my office," I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. "All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say?" She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. "What do you mean? To keep us safe?" I pressed, clinging to her every word as if they were the only threads connecting me to Sarah. "Mommy said some people wanted to hurt us, and she had to keep it a secret." Lily's voice quivered slightly, and I could sense the weight of her words pressing down on her small shoulders. "But she promised she would come back for me when it was safe." My heart broke at the thought of Sarah enduring whatever horrors had forced her into hiding, and the realization that my daughter had been caught up in this turmoil. made my stomach churn. "This is all so much," I murmured, trying to gather my thoughts. "But you're here now, and we'll figure this out together. I'm not going to lose you again." I reached across the desk and took her small hands in mine, grounding myself in the moment. "We'll find your mother, I promise." As I looked into her eyes, I saw a flicker of hope gleaming there, just enough to ignite the embers of my own. By now, my mind was racing with possibilities, and I couldn't help but wonder if Sarah had left me clues, breadcrumbs to follow. I needed to unravel this mystery for Lily, for Sarah, and for myself. "Lily, do you have anything that belongs to your mom? Something that can help us find her?" I asked, my voice steady despite the chaos swirling within me. She hesitated, biting her lip as she thought deeply. "I have something," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But it's at home." "Then we'll go home together," I declared, my resolve hardening. "We'll get whatever it is, and then we'll start looking for your mom." The weight of the world felt lighter for a moment, and I realized that this little girl, with her teddy bear and hopeful spirit, could lead me back to Sarah. But before we could embark on this journey, I needed to ask for your thoughts. What do you think will happen next? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and if you're enjoying this adventure as much as I am, consider subscribing to join us as we unravel this mystery together. As I sat there, my heart racing with the weight of what lay ahead, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were on the precipice of something monumental. Lily's presence, a living embodiment of hope and innocence, sparked a fire within me that I thought had long extinguished. The thought of Sarah, my beloved wife, possibly still alive, sent waves of emotion crashing over me. I had spent countless nights haunted by her memory, but now, with Lily here, it felt like a new chapter was beginning, one that could lead me back to her. "Okay, Lily," I said, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside me. "I want you to tell me everything about this key and how it connects to your mom. We need to figure out how to find her." I leaned in closer, eager for every detail. Did she ever mention where she might be hiding? The question hung in the air between us, heavy with possibility. Lily looked deep in thought, her little brow furrowed as she clutched her teddy bear tighter. She said it was a place we used to go to when I was a baby, a secret place. Her eyes sparkled with a mixture of nostalgia and determination. I don't remember it, but she said it was special, where she kept the keys safe. The words wrapped around me like an intricate tapestry, weaving together fragments of a life I had nearly lost to despair. "Do you know how to get there?" I asked, my pulse quickening. She nodded, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "I think so." She drew me a map before I left. "It's in my backpack." My heart soared at the thought of a tangible clue, a thread to pull on as we navigated this labyrinthine mystery. "Let's get your backpack then. We'll begin our journey to find your mom." The urgency in my voice seemed to ignite something within her. "Okay, but we have to be quick. Mommy said there are people who want to stop us." A chill ran down my spine at the thought of danger lurking in the shadows, but I pushed it aside. This was about Lily, about Sarah. Nothing would deter me from finding them. As we made our way out of the office, I felt a sense of purpose surge through me, a newfound determination that replaced the emptiness I had carried for so long. The elevator ride felt like an eternity, the air thick with anticipation. Each floor we descended brought us closer to the unknown, and I could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on us. "Lily," I said, turning to her as we reached the ground floor. "Are you ready for this?" She met my gaze, her eyes wide and resolute. "I am, Daddy. Let's find Mommy." Her faith, her belief in the impossible, rekindled something deep within me. I had spent so long believing that I had lost her, and now, here we were, standing on the brink of a reunion that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. As we stepped into the parking lot, I felt the world around us shift. The air crackled with electricity, a reminder of the journey ahead. "Do you remember what your mom said about the secret place?" I asked, my voice steady as I led her towards my car. "Anything at all?" Lily thought for a moment, her brow furrowed. She said it was near the old oak tree, the one with the swing. My mind raced as I recalled a place Sarah and I had visited, a hidden spot in the woods where we had spent lazy afternoons, laughing and dreaming of our future. It felt like a lifetime ago, but the memories flickered like a distant flame, guiding me back to her. "Then that's where we'll go," I said, determination lacing my words. "Let's get to your house and find that map. We'll head straight there." The drive felt surreal, the streets rolling by in a blur as I wrestled with the enormity of our mission. I stole glances at Lily, who was gazing out the window, her small face a mixture of excitement and anxiety. "Daddy," she said suddenly, breaking the silence that hung between us. "Do you think Mommy will be waiting for us?" Her question cut through my heart and settled in my gut like a heavy stone. "I hope so, sweetheart," I replied, forcing a smile. "But we have to be brave and keep looking." As we arrived at her home, the familiar sight sent a wave of nostalgia washing over me. The house stood proud, but it felt different now, like a relic of a life I had long since buried. "Let's go inside," I said, my voice steady despite the tempest of emotions swirling within me. With Lily's hand firmly in mine, we stepped into the house, a place filled with echoes of laughter and love. Once inside, I was overwhelmed by memories. The scent of Sarah's favorite flowers in the living room, the sound of her laughter that seemed to linger in the corners of the rooms. "Where's your backpack?" I asked, my heart racing as I scanned the space. "Upstairs, in my room," Lily exclaimed, darting down the hallway with an eagerness that made my heart swell. I followed her, my mind racing through the possibilities. As she rummaged through her belongings, I couldn't help but feel the weight of the moment. We were on the brink of uncovering the truth, one that had been hidden for far too long. "Here it is," she shouted, pulling out her backpack and unzipping it with fervor. I knelt beside her, my heart pounding as she pulled out various toys and clothes, her tiny hand searching for the map. Finally, she produced a crumpled piece of paper, worn at the edges but filled with scribbles and drawings. "Look, Daddy, this is the place," she said, her eyes bright with excitement. I took the map from her, my breath hitching as I studied the lines and symbols. The path was drawn with childlike precision, leading to a location marked with an X beneath a sprawling oak tree. "This is it," I whispered, the realization settling over me like a warm embrace. "Let's go find Mommy," Lily urged, her enthusiasm infectious. I nodded, my heart racing with a mix of fear and excitement. "Yes, let's go." As we made our way back to the car, the weight of the world felt lighter, the burden of uncertainty replaced by a growing sense of hope. The drive to the woods was filled with anticipation, each passing moment bringing us closer to uncovering the truth. "Do you think Mommy will be happy to see us?" Lily asked, her voice a sweet melody against the backdrop of the engine's hum. "I hope so, Lily. I really do," I replied, my heart swelling with the possibility of reunion. "But no matter what, we're in this together." As we entered the woods, I felt a sense of calm wash over me, the familiar sights and sounds enveloping us like a protective cocoon. "Look for the oak tree," I instructed, my eyes scanning the landscape for the landmark that held the key to our past. The air was thick with anticipation, a bittersweet reminder of everything we had endured. Finally, as we rounded a bend, there it stood, the majestic oak tree, its branches outstretched like welcoming arms. "There it is," Lily squealed, her excitement palpable. "The swing is still there." I parked the car and stepped out, my heart racing as I took in the scene before us. The swing swayed gently in the breeze, a symbol of the love and laughter that had once filled this place. "Let's go see," I said, my voice steady as I took Lily's hand. Together, we approached the tree, the air thick with possibility. "What do you think we'll find?" she asked, her eyes shining with wonder. "I don't know yet, but I promise we'll find out together," I replied, my heart pounding with hope and fear. As we reached the base of the tree, I looked around, searching for any sign of Sarah. "Where do you think she hid the key?" I mused, my mind racing with possibilities. Lily looked up, her small finger pointing towards a hollow in the trunk. "Maybe there?" she suggested, her voice filled with childlike innocence. I knelt down, peering into the opening, but it was dark and empty. "Let's keep looking," I said, my heart racing with determination. We began to search the area, combing through the underbrush and inspecting every crevice. The weight of the moment pressed down on me, and I felt a mix of hope and desperation. "Mommy, where are you?" I whispered, my heart aching for the love that had been lost for so long. As we continued to search, I felt a shift in the air, a subtle change that sent shivers down my spine. "Lily," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, "do you feel that?" She nodded, her eyes wide with anticipation. Suddenly, from behind the tree, a figure emerged, cloaked in shadows. My heart raced as I squinted to see more clearly. And then, time seemed to stand still. There she was, Sarah, my Sarah, alive and radiant, yet weary, as if she had carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. "Lily," she exclaimed, her voice a symphony of joy and disbelief. "You found him." I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, as the reality of the moment crashed over me like a tidal wave. There she was, the love of my life, standing before me, and everything I thought I had lost began to stitch itself back together. "Sarah," I whispered, my voice trembling with emotion. As she stepped closer, the world around us faded into oblivion, and all that mattered was the family we had fought to reclaim. In that moment, hope bloomed anew, and I knew that we were finally on the path to healing. Together, the moment felt surreal, as if time itself had taken a breath and held it captive. Sarah stood before me, a vision from my past that had haunted my dreams for far too long. Every detail was etched in my heart, the way her hair caught the sunlight, the familiar warmth in her eyes, the way she carried herself, a blend of strength and vulnerability. I wanted to rush to her, to pull her into my arms and never let go, but I was paralyzed, caught in the web of disbelief and overwhelming emotion. "Is it really you?" I finally managed to whisper, my voice cracking under the weight of the words. Lily, radiant with joy, rushed past me and flung herself into Sarah's arms. "Mommy!" she cried, her small frame enveloped in the warmth of her mother's embrace. I watched, my heart swelling at the sight of them together, but the confusion and questions bubbled beneath the surface. I needed answers, and I needed them now. "Sarah," I said, my voice trembling. "What happened? Where have you been?" Sarah turned her gaze to me, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "I was trying to protect you both," she said, her voice filled with a mixture of sorrow and determination. "There are things you don't understand, things I had to keep hidden to keep you safe." Her words hung in the air like a storm cloud, heavy with implications that sent shivers down my spine. I thought I could handle it on my own, but then I realized I needed you. I needed Lily to help me find the key. "The key?" I echoed, confusion swirling in my mind. "What is this key? And who are these people you're afraid of?" I took a step closer, my heart racing as I tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. "We've been searching for you, Sarah. I thought you were gone forever." "I know," she replied, her voice filled with regret. "And I'm so sorry, but I couldn't just come back. Not until I knew it was safe." Lily clung to her mother, her eyes wide with a mixture of confusion and awe, desperate to understand the world her parents had been navigating without her. "Please, just tell us everything," I urged, my heart pounding in my chest. "We've been through hell without you, and I don't want to lose you again." The desperation in my voice was raw, a plea that echoed through the trees surrounding us. Sarah took a deep breath, her gaze steady as she prepared to unveil the secrets that had kept her away for so long. I was involved in something bigger than I ever anticipated. There were people who wanted to control the key, an ancient artifact that holds immense power. They thought I had it, but I didn't. Her words flowed like a cascading river, each revelation pulling me deeper into a world I had no idea existed. "What do you mean, power?" I asked, my mind racing with questions. "What does the key unlock? And why would anyone want to hurt us?" "It unlocks a hidden knowledge, a way to access things that should remain untouched," she explained, her voice filled with urgency. "I had to go into hiding to protect you both. I couldn't let them find us. But when I realized I could use Lily to help me reach the key, I knew I had to send her to you. She's the only one who can help me find it." My heart sank as I processed her words, a whirlwind of emotions crashing over me. "But why didn't you come back sooner? Why put Lily in danger?" The frustration bubbled over, and I could feel the anger rising within me. "I had to make sure it was safe first," she said, her voice steady despite the turmoil. "I thought I could handle it alone, but I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I never wanted you to suffer." Her gaze met mine, and I saw the depth of her pain mirrored in my own. As the reality of her words began to settle, I felt a flicker of hope ignite within me. "So, what's the plan? How do we find this key?" I asked, my voice steadying as I grasped onto the thread of possibility. "We need to follow the map Lily found," Sarah replied, her eyes lighting up with determination. "It will lead us to the location where the key is hidden. But we have to be careful. Those people are still looking for me, and they won't stop until they find what they're after." Lily, who had been listening intently, chimed in. "We can do it together, Mommy. Daddy will help us." Her innocence and unwavering belief in us gave me strength, and I nodded, feeling the resolve solidify within me. "Then let's go," I said, my voice firm with determination. "We'll find the key and put an end to this once and for all. I won't let anyone take you both from me again." As we made our way back to the car, the air around us felt charged with anticipation. The path ahead was uncertain, fraught with danger and the unknown. But for the first time in years, I felt a glimmer of hope. We were a family again, united by love and a common purpose. Once in the car, I glanced over at Sarah, her presence filling the space with warmth and familiarity. "I missed you so much," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. She smiled, a radiant light that pierced through the shadows of the past. "I missed you too, more than you can imagine," she replied, her hand reaching out to touch mine. "And I promise I won't let anything tear us apart again." As we drove through the winding roads, the map resting on my lap, I felt the weight of the world lift ever so slightly. We were on a mission, and though the road ahead was fraught with danger, I knew we would face it together. "Just tell me where to go," I said, glancing at Lily in the rearview mirror. "We'll follow your map." With a newfound sense of purpose, we embarked on a journey that would test our strength, resilience, and the bonds of family. The darkness that had once threatened to consume us now felt like a mere shadow, eclipsed by the light of hope and love that shone brightly in our hearts. Together, we would find the key, and together, we would reclaim our lives. The past was behind us, and the future awaited, a tapestry of possibilities woven with the threads of our love and determination. As we ventured into the unknown, I knew one thing for certain: I would do anything to protect my family, and nothing would stand in our way. The air felt charged with an electric anticipation as we ventured deeper into the woods, following the path laid out on Lily's crumpled map. Each step felt like a heartbeat, resonating with the promises we had made to one another. The trees towered above us, their branches interlacing like the protective arms of guardians watching over our journey. I stole glances at Sarah and Lily, feeling an indescribable blend of emotions swirling within me: relief, hope, and a lingering fear of what lay ahead. "Is this where we're supposed to be?" I asked, my voice steady as I scanned the surroundings. The map was a chaotic swirl of childish drawings, but it held the promise of a reunion I had craved for so long. "It looks like we're getting close," Sarah replied, her eyes scanning the area with a mix of nostalgia and determination. The oak tree should be just up ahead. As we trudged along, I could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down on us. "We need to be careful," I whispered, aware of the looming threat that had forced Sarah into hiding. "You said there are people looking for you. What do we do if they find us?" The question hung in the air, heavy with the potential for danger. "I'll do everything I can to protect you both," she said firmly, her voice filled with a fierce conviction that ignited my own resolve. "But we must stick together. If we stay united, we'll be stronger." That moment felt like a rallying cry, a reminder that we had endured so much already, and together, we could face whatever lay ahead. Lily, sensing the tension, piped up, "Mommy, Daddy, look!" She pointed excitedly towards a clearing just ahead, where the sunlight broke through the canopy, illuminating a majestic oak tree that stood like a sentinel over the land. My heart raced as we approached it, the memories flooding back of laughter-filled afternoons spent swinging beneath its branches. "There it is," I breathed, awe washing over me as we reached the base of the tree. My childhood dreams of adventure raced back to me, mingling with the reality of our present. This place had witnessed our love, and now it was at the center of our quest. "Do you remember this spot, Sarah?" I asked, my voice tinged with nostalgia. "Yes," she replied, her gaze softening as she looked around. "This is where we dreamed about our future, where we believed anything was possible." Her words hung in the air, a reminder of the life we had envisioned together. "But how do we find the key?" Lily asked, tugging at my sleeve with curiosity. I knelt down beside her, feeling the warmth of her small hand in mine. "Let's take a closer look at the tree," I suggested. "Maybe there's something hidden here." As we examined the gnarled roots and the bark, I felt a sense of urgency wash over me. "Lily, does your mom have any other hints or clues about where the key might be?" I asked, feeling the weight of the moment settle in my chest. She thought for a moment, biting her lip. She said something about a special spot near the roots, a place only we would know. The memory seemed to ignite a spark in her eyes, and I could see the determination blossoming within her. "Then let's check there," I urged, feeling a surge of adrenaline as we gathered around the roots of the oak tree. We crouched low, inspecting the ground for any signs of hidden compartments or markings. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as we dug our fingers into the earth, our hearts racing with the hope of discovering something significant. Suddenly, Lily's fingers brushed against something solid beneath the surface. "I think I found something," she cried, her voice a melody of excitement. We all leaned in closer, the air thick with anticipation as she dug deeper. Soon, she uncovered a small, rusted box, its surface weathered by time but still intact. "Careful, sweetheart," Sarah said softly, her voice brimming with pride. "You did great." My heart swelled as I watched the bond between them flourish, the love that had endured through the trials of separation. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, and I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for this moment we shared. Lily lifted the box carefully, her tiny hands trembling with excitement. "What's inside?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. I gently took the box from her, my heart racing as I unlatched it. As the lid creaked open, I held my breath, anticipation flooding my senses. Inside, nestled among layers of faded velvet, lay an ornate key, its design intricate and beautiful, glimmering in the dappled sunlight. The sight brought tears to my eyes. It felt like a piece of our past had been reclaimed, a symbol of hope and unity. "This is it," I whispered, my voice thick with emotion. "This is the key." Sarah reached out, her fingers brushing against mine as she gazed at the key in wonder. "We have to be careful," she cautioned, her voice low but steady. "This key is more than just a piece of metal. It holds the power to unlock secrets that could change everything." "What kind of secrets?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Secrets about our family, our past, and the dangers that still lurk in the shadows," I explained, feeling the weight of the moment settle over us. "But we will face them together, as a family." As we stood there, united by love and purpose, I couldn't shake the feeling that our journey was far from over. The road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but together, we were stronger than we had ever been. With the key in hand, we were ready to face whatever awaited us, to reclaim our lives and protect each other at all costs. "Let's get moving," I said, my voice steady with determination. "We have a mission to complete." As we made our way back towards the car, a newfound sense of hope enveloped us, wrapping around us like a warm embrace. But as we stepped away from the oak tree, a rustling in the bushes caught my attention. My heart raced as I turned, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. "Did you hear that?" I asked, my voice low and urgent. "Yeah," Lily whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "Stay close," Sarah urged, her protective instincts kicking in as she pulled Lily closer. The rustling grew louder, and I felt a sense of dread wash over me. We had to be cautious. The danger Sarah had warned us about could be closer than we realized. "We need to get out of here," I said, my voice steady despite the rising anxiety. As we hurried back to the car, every step felt like a race against time. The shadows around us seemed to deepen, and I could sense an unseen presence lurking just beyond the trees. "Keep looking forward," I urged. "Don't look back." Just as we reached the car, a figure emerged from the trees, a tall silhouette cloaked in darkness. My heart thundered in my chest as I recognized the danger that loomed before us. "Get in the car," I shouted, the urgency in my voice rising as panic set in. We scrambled into the vehicle, and I fumbled with the keys, my hands trembling as I fought to start the engine. "What do we do?" Lily cried, her voice filled with fear. "We drive," I said, my voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through me. "We get to safety." With a roar, the engine came to life, and I slammed the accelerator down, propelling us forward as we sped away from the looming figure. The world outside blurred into a whirlwind of greens and browns, but my focus remained on the road ahead. As we left the woods behind, I could feel the weight of danger receding, but the reality of what we had just faced settled heavily in my gut. "What was that?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling as we drove further away from the trees. "I don't know," I replied, my heart racing. "But they're looking for you, Sarah," We need to be careful." "Who were they?" Lily asked, her voice small and frightened. "I don't know, sweetheart," I said, my heart aching for the innocence that had been stolen from her. "But we'll figure it out together. We'll keep you safe." As we drove towards the safety of home, the reality of our situation settled over us like a shroud. The key we had found was only the beginning, a thread leading us deeper into a mystery that had been woven into the fabric of our lives. "Where do we go from here?" Sarah asked, her eyes filled with determination. "We find the truth," I replied, my voice steady with resolve. "We unravel the secrets, and we protect our family, together." As we drove into the unknown, I felt a sense of purpose ignite within me. We were on a journey towards reclaiming our lives, and nothing would stand in our way. I glanced at Sarah and Lily, their faces illuminated by the dashboard lights, and I knew that together, we could face whatever lay ahead. With the key in hand and our hearts united, we were ready to uncover the truth, to confront the shadows of the past, and to forge a future filled with love and hope. The journey had only just begun, and I was determined to see it through to the end. As we ventured into the night, I couldn't help but wonder what awaited us on the other side, and as we drove forward, I felt a flicker of hope in my heart, a reminder that no matter the darkness, love would always light the way. In that moment, I realized that our story was far from over. It was only just beginning, and I was ready for whatever came next. And as we embraced the uncertainty of the road ahead, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were about to embark on the greatest adventure of our lives, a journey that would lead us to the truth, the key, and ultimately, to each other. I invite you to share your thoughts on our journey so far, and tell me what you think lies ahead for Sarah, Lily, and me. Your stories inspire me, and I would love to hear them, as well as any themes you'd like to explore further in this adventure. Together, let's unravel the mystery and embrace the power of hope and love. As we sped away from the woods, the weight of uncertainty hung heavy in the air, mingling with the adrenaline coursing through my veins. My heart raced not just from the rush of escape, but from the overwhelming reality of what lay ahead. I glanced at Sarah and Lily, their faces illuminated by the glow of the dashboard, each expression reflecting a mix of hope and fear. "We need to find a safe place to regroup and figure out our next move," I said, my voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling within me. "Where do we go?" Sarah asked, her eyes searching mine for reassurance. The urgency of the moment pressed down heavily, but I could sense her strength, a testament to the resilience she had shown all these years. "There's a cabin my family used to own, out by the lake," I suggested, recalling a place that had always felt like a sanctuary. "It's secluded, and no one should know we're there. Let's do it," Sarah replied, her determination igniting a spark within me. I could see the resolve in her eyes, the warrior spirit that had kept her alive through whatever battles she had faced. "Lily, are you ready for a little adventure?" Lily's eyes widened with excitement, a flicker of innocence breaking through the tension. "Yes, I want to see the lake," she exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there was still light to be found in our little girl's spirit. As I drove, the road stretched out before us, flanked by towering trees and the fading light of dusk. The world outside felt like a blur, and I focused on the task at hand, my mind racing with thoughts of what we had just discovered. The key, what did it unlock, and how could it protect us from the shadows that lurked? "Sarah," I said, breaking the silence that had settled among us, "what do we need to know about the key? What is it really for?" I could see the weight of the question resting on her shoulders, but she took a deep breath, her expression shifting to one of seriousness. "The key unlocks a hidden chamber," she began, her voice steady as she spoke. "A place where the secrets of our past are buried, along with knowledge that could change everything. There are people who want that power, who would go to any lengths to possess it." "But why did you have to go into hiding?" I pressed, my heart aching at the thought of her enduring such hardship alone. "Why not come home sooner?" "Because I needed to protect you both," she replied, her voice filled with sincerity. "I thought I could handle it alone, but when I realized the danger was greater than I imagined, I knew I had to send Lily to find you. It was the only way to keep you safe." As she spoke, I could see the sacrifice etched on her face, the burden she had carried for so long. My heart swelled with a mix of admiration and pain. "You don't have to do this alone anymore," I said softly, reaching over to take her hand. "We're a family, and we'll face whatever comes together." Lily, sensing the gravity of our conversation, chimed in. "Mommy, do you think the key will help us find those bad people?" Her innocent question hung in the air, a poignant reminder of the stakes we faced. "I hope so, sweetheart," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "But we have to be careful. They know I'm alive, and they'll stop at nothing to get to the key." As we approached the cabin, a flicker of hope ignited within me. I had always cherished this place, a refuge from the chaos of the world. "Here it is," I said, pulling into the familiar driveway. The cabin stood sturdy against the backdrop of the lake, its weathered wood and stone a testament to the memories we had created there. Once inside, I felt a wave of nostalgia wash over me, but I quickly pushed it aside. There was no time for sentimentality. We had work to do. "Let's secure the place first," I instructed, scanning the interior for any signs of vulnerability. Lily darted around, exploring her surroundings with unbridled curiosity, while Sarah and I exchanged glances, a silent agreement passing between us. "We need to find a way to protect ourselves," I said, my voice low. "Do you have anything from your time in hiding that could help us?" Sarah nodded, her expression shifting to one of determination. "I have a few things stored in my bag. Survival gear, some supplies. We'll need to set up a perimeter and stay vigilant." Her focus and resolve brought a sense of calm, and I felt reassured knowing we were working together once more. As we settled into the cabin, I couldn't shake the feeling that time was running out. The shadows outside seemed to grow longer, stretching ominously across the landscape. "We'll need to devise a plan," I said, glancing at Sarah. "We can't let them catch us off guard." "Agreed," she replied, her voice steady. "But first, we need to understand what the key unlocks. We should examine it further." I retrieved the ornate key from my pocket, its cool metal glinting in the dim light of the cabin. What if it's more than just a physical key? I mused, my mind racing. What if it holds the answers to everything? Sarah took the key from my hand, her fingers brushing against its surface as she examined it closely. "There are ancient markings on it," she said, her voice filled with intrigue. "I've seen symbols like this before. They may point to a location or a specific task we need to accomplish." My heart raced at the thought. "What do we need to do?" I asked, eager to uncover the next step in our journey. "We need to decipher these markings," she replied, her eyes filled with determination. "If we can unlock the secrets behind the key, it might lead us to the answers we need to protect ourselves." As we huddled around the table, the atmosphere shifted, charged with urgency. I watched as Sarah meticulously traced the intricate designs with her fingers, her brow furrowed in concentration. "These symbols, they appear to represent a map," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "Can you read it?" I asked, my heart pounding. "I can try," she replied, her determination shining through, "but it will take time." Just then, the sound of footsteps outside sent a chill down my spine. My heart raced as I turned to Sarah and Lily, the urgency of the moment crashing over me like a tidal wave. "We need to be quiet," I whispered, my voice laced with tension. "Someone's out there." Sarah nodded, her expression serious as she motioned for Lily to stay close. We moved silently, the three of us huddled together, our hearts pounding in unison. The footsteps grew louder and I could feel the tension in the air, thickening with every passing second. "Who is it?" Lily whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "I don't know, sweetheart," I replied, my voice low, "but we need to be prepared." As the footsteps grew louder, I felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through my veins. We had to protect ourselves, to safeguard our family at all costs. My mind raced through potential scenarios, every possibility flashing before me. Just then, the door creaked open, and a figure stepped into the cabin. My heart raced, and I held my breath, ready to defend my family. But as the figure emerged from the shadows, I felt my heart drop. It was a man, tall and imposing, with eyes that glinted with malice. "Well, well, well," he said, a sinister smile creeping across his lips. "Looks like I found you after all." Every instinct in my body screamed for me to act, but I stood frozen, my heart racing as I assessed the danger before us. Sarah gripped my arm, her eyes filled with fear and determination. "Stay behind me," she whispered, her voice steady but low. "What do you want?" I demanded, my voice firm despite the chaos swirling within me. The man chuckled, his expression dripping with disdain. "I want the key, and I'll do whatever it takes to get it." Fear coursed through me, but I couldn't let it take hold. "You'll have to go through me first," I declared, my voice steady. "Is that a challenge?" he asked, stepping closer, his demeanor menacing. "Leave us alone," Sarah said, her voice unwavering. "We won't give you anything." But you don't understand," he sneered, his eyes narrowing. "You have no idea what you're dealing with." With that, the tension in the air escalated, and I felt a surge of protectiveness rise within me. "Get away from my family," I shouted, my heart racing as I prepared to defend the ones I loved. But before I could react, the man lunged forward, and instinct took over. I stepped in front of Sarah and Lily, ready to protect them at all costs. In that moment, time seemed to slow, as adrenaline surged through my veins. I could feel the weight of the world on my shoulders, the urgency of our situation pressing down heavily. This was a fight for our lives, and I wouldn't let anything tear my family apart again. "Come on," I shouted, my voice ringing with conviction. "We're not going down without a fight." As I braced myself for what was about to unfold, I knew that our journey was far from over. The battle for our future had begun, and I was ready to face whatever came our way. Together, we would stand strong, united by love and the determination to reclaim our lives. In that moment, I realized that no matter the darkness that threatened to consume us, we would always find a way to shine through. And as I prepared to confront the looming danger, I held on to the hope that our family would emerge from this stronger than ever. With the key in hand and my loved ones by my side, I was ready for the fight of our lives. The unknown awaited us, but together, we would face it all. I wouldn't let fear dictate our story. We were the authors of our destiny, and we would write a tale of resilience, love, and unbreakable bonds. The battle was just beginning, and I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, with my family, with love, and with unwavering determination. As the man lunged forward, time slowed, and my instincts kicked in. My heart raced as I positioned myself protectively in front of Sarah and Lily, the weight of my responsibility anchoring me to the ground. The cabin, once a sanctuary filled with laughter and dreams, had transformed into a battleground. The air crackled with tension, and I could feel every nerve in my body on high alert. "Get back," I shouted, my voice reverberating off the wooden walls. I had no idea who this man was or what he was capable of, but one thing was clear. He wasn't here for a friendly chat. I could see the malice in his eyes, the hunger for something that was ours. The key was our ticket to unlocking not just the secrets of our past, but also the future we desperately wanted to reclaim. The man smirked, undeterred by my warning. "You think you can protect them? You have no idea what you're up against." He lunged again, and in that moment, everything I had fought for surged through me, a potent mix of fear, love, and determination. I would not let him take my family away. Adrenaline surged as I sidestepped his attack, my body moving instinctively. I threw a punch, connecting solidly with his jaw. The impact reverberated through my fist, sending shockwaves of pain up my arm, but I didn't care. I had to defend them. He staggered back, surprise flickering across his face, but it quickly morphed into something more sinister. "Is that all you've got?" he taunted, wiping the blood from his mouth. His laughter echoed off the walls, a chilling sound that sent a shiver down my spine. I could see the darkness in him, a predatory glint that suggested he wouldn't stop until he got what he wanted. "Stay behind me!" I shouted to Sarah and Lily, my voice a mixture of command and reassurance. I could feel the warmth of Lily's small hand gripping my shirt, and it fueled my resolve. I couldn't let fear overtake me. Not now. Not when everything was at stake. The man lunged again, this time aiming for Sarah. I intercepted him, our bodies colliding with a force that sent us both crashing to the floor. We wrestled, grappling for control, the world around us fading into a blur of chaos. My focus narrowed to the fight, the struggle to keep my family safe. "Daddy!" Lily's voice rang out, a piercing reminder of what I was fighting for. I glanced back, catching a glimpse of her fear-stricken face, and it ignited a fire within me. I had to end this. I had to protect them. With a surge of strength, I pushed the man off me, scrambling to my feet. He quickly regained his footing, his expression darkening as he lunged for me again. But this time, I was ready. I sidestepped his attack and countered with a solid kick to his midsection. He grunted, stumbling back, giving me just enough room to catch my breath. "Sarah, the key!" I shouted, urgency spilling over in my voice. "We need to make sure he doesn't get it." I could see her nod, determination etched on her face. She understood the stakes, and we were in this together. As I faced the man again, I noticed Sarah moving toward the table, where the key lay glimmering under the dim light. "No!" I shouted, panic rising in my chest. "Don't!" But she was quicker than I anticipated. With a flick of her wrist, she snatched the key, holding it tightly in her hand. The man's eyes widened with fury as he realized what was happening. "You'll regret that," he hissed, his voice low and menacing. "Get away from my family," I roared, lunging forward once more. This time, I was fueled by a fierce protective instinct, a primal urge to shield my loved ones from harm. The man retaliated, throwing a punch that barely grazed my shoulder, but it was enough to knock me off balance. Desperation clawed at me as I struggled to regain my footing. I could see Sarah standing firm, the key clutched tightly in her grasp. "We can't let him have it," I shouted, my voice hoarse with urgency. "Keep him distracted," Sarah replied, her eyes narrowing with resolve. I didn't need to be told twice. With a surge of adrenaline, I advanced toward the man again, throwing a series of punches that kept him on the defensive. I could feel the sweat trickling down my forehead, the pain of my muscles protesting, but I pushed through. I had to protect them. There was no other option. In the chaos, I could see Lily peeking out from behind Sarah, her small face a mixture of fear and awe. "Mommy, what's happening?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Stay close to me, sweetie," Sarah replied, her tone soothing yet firm. "We're going to be okay." The man lunged again, this time aiming for Sarah, but I intercepted him, tackling him to the ground. We rolled, grappling for control, each of us trying to gain the upper hand. I could feel the weight of his body pressing down on me, but I refused to give in. I fought back with everything I had, fueled by the love I felt for my family. "Just give me the key," he growled, his breath hot against my face. "Never!" I spat back, pushing him off me with all my strength. I scrambled to my feet, my heart racing as I prepared for the next attack. Just then, a loud crash echoed through the cabin, and I turned to see Sarah holding the key high above her head. "You want this?" she challenged, her voice steady despite the chaos. "You'll have to go through me first." The man's expression darkened as he realized the stakes. "You think you can protect it?" he sneered, eyeing her with malicious intent. I could feel the tension crackling in the air as he lunged again, but this time, Sarah was ready. She moved with a grace that surprised me, dodging his attack and stepping back, the key still held tightly in her hand. "Stay back!" she shouted, her voice strong and unwavering. The determination in her eyes was a beacon of hope, igniting a fire within me. In that moment, I felt a shift in the atmosphere, a surge of energy that coursed through me. This was our fight, our chance to reclaim our lives and protect our family. We wouldn't let fear dictate our story any longer. With renewed strength, I charged forward, tackling the man once more. We crashed to the ground, the force of the impact rattling through me. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, a primal urge to protect what was mine overwhelming my senses. "Lily, stay back!" I shouted, my voice filled with urgency. As I wrestled with the man, I could hear Sarah's voice behind me, a steady reminder of our purpose. "We can't let him take the key. It's our only chance." The struggle intensified, each of us fighting for control, and I could feel the tide beginning to turn. I pushed him off me, scrambling to my feet just as he lunged again. This time, I was ready. I sidestepped his attack, grabbing a nearby chair and swinging it toward him. The wood splintered against his body, sending him crashing to the ground. "Now!" I shouted to Sarah, my heart racing. "Get the key out of here." But before she could react, the man sprang back up, fury in his eyes. "You think you can escape?" he growled, advancing toward us. "Run!" I shouted to Sarah and Lily, my voice filled with urgency. "Get to safety!" I knew I had to buy them time, and I wouldn't let anything stop me. With every ounce of strength I had left, I faced the man again, ready for whatever came next. But suddenly, there was a loud bang, and the door burst open, revealing another figure, this one dressed in dark clothing, with an air of authority that sent chills down my spine. "Step away from them!" the newcomer commanded, gun drawn and aimed directly at the man. Everything froze in that moment. The tension in the air thickened as I turned my attention to the newcomer. "Who are you?" I demanded, my heart racing as I assessed the situation. "I'm here to help," the figure replied, their voice steady and calm. "But you need to trust me." "Trust you?" I spat, still reeling from the chaos. "How do I know you're not one of them?" "Because I'm not," the figure insisted, keeping the gun trained on the man. "And if you want to keep your family safe, you need to listen." The man I had been grappling with sneered, his expression darkening. "You think you can save them? You've already lost." But before I could react, the newcomer fired a warning shot, the sound echoing through the cabin like thunder. "Enough!" they shouted. "Get on the ground!" The man hesitated, his bravado faltering as he realized the odds were now against him. He glanced between me and the newcomer, calculating his next move. "Run!" I shouted to Sarah and Lily, urgency spilling from my voice. "Get out of here!" With a final glare, the man turned and bolted for the door, but the newcomer was quicker. They took aim and fired again, the shot ringing out as the man stumbled, falling to the ground just outside the cabin. I stood frozen, my heart pounding in my chest as I processed what had just happened. "Is he—" I began, but the newcomer stepped forward, their expression resolute. "He won't be a problem anymore," they assured me, lowering the gun. "But we need to move. They'll be coming for him." "Who are you?" I asked, my voice shaky with a mix of relief and confusion. "My name is Alex," they replied, their gaze firm. "I've been watching over Sarah and Lily for some time. We have to get them to safety." I turned to Sarah, who was still clutching the key tightly in her hand. "Are you okay?" I asked, concern flooding through me. "I'm fine," she replied, her voice steady but laced with urgency. "But we need to go. Now." "Lily, stay close," I instructed, taking her hand and leading her toward the door. The weight of the moment settled over us as we stepped outside, the remnants of chaos still palpable in the air. "Where do we go?" Sarah asked, her eyes scanning the surroundings. "There's a safe house not far from here," Alex replied, their voice calm and authoritative. "We can regroup there and figure out our next move." As we made our way to the car, I felt the weight of what had just transpired settling like a storm cloud over us. The danger wasn't gone, and the road ahead was still fraught with uncertainty. But we were together, a family united by love and resilience, and that gave me hope. Once inside the car, I glanced at Sarah and Lily, their faces illuminated by the dashboard lights. "We're going to get through this," I promised them, my voice filled with determination. "We'll find a way to protect our family." As we sped away from the cabin, the darkness of the woods receding behind us, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. We were on the brink of uncovering the truth, and no matter the obstacles we faced, we would face them together. With the key in hand and Alex's unexpected support, I knew we had a fighting chance. The past was behind us, and the future awaited, a tapestry of possibilities woven with the threads of our love and determination. And as we ventured into the night, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were embarking on a journey that would forever change our lives. Together, we would uncover the secrets that had haunted us for too long, and together, we would reclaim our family. The adventure had only just begun, and I was ready for whatever came next. With my loved ones by my side, I would face the unknown with courage, hope, and unwavering love. Together, we would write our own story, a story of resilience, unity, and the unbreakable bonds of family. As we sped away from the cabin, the world outside became a blur of shadows and uncertainty, but my heart raced with a mix of adrenaline and hope. The danger we'd just faced hung in the air like a thick fog, yet here we were, a family reunited, and with a new ally in Alex. The weight of the key in Sarah's hand felt like a promise of things to come, a tangible thread connecting us to the past and the future we sought to reclaim. "Are we safe?" Lily's small voice broke through the tension in the car, pulling my attention to the back seat where she sat, her wide eyes reflecting the flickering dashboard lights. I turned to her, wanting to shield her from the chaos that had enveloped us, but knowing that the world was far more complicated than I wished it to be. "Yes, sweetheart," I said, trying to instill confidence in her. "We're going to be okay. We have each other, and we won't let anything happen to you." The sincerity in my voice felt like a lifeline, and I could see her relax just a little, her small fingers still clutching her teddy bear tightly. Sarah glanced back at Lily, her expression softening. "We're going to find a safe place, and then we can figure everything out together," she reassured, her voice steady despite the chaos we had just escaped. I admired her strength, the way she maintained a calm facade for our daughter. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of moments, love could illuminate the path forward. We drove in silence for a while, the weight of our experience settling heavily in the atmosphere. I could feel the unspoken questions swirling between us, the urgency of the situation pressing down like a heavy blanket. "Alex," I said, breaking the quiet, "what do we need to know? What's our next move?" Alex, focused on the road ahead, glanced at me briefly before responding. "We need to get to the safe house and regroup. It's equipped with everything we'll need to lay low for a bit. After that, we'll strategize on how to deal with the people after Sarah." "Do you have any idea what they want?" I asked, my heart racing again. The thought of those who had been hunting Sarah sent shivers down my spine. "What are we up against?" "They're part of an organization that seeks the key for its power," Alex explained, their voice steady and calm. "It's not just about you or Sarah. It's much bigger than that. They believe that the key can unlock secrets that could change everything, and they won't stop until they have it." The gravity of Alex's words settled heavily in the car. "What kind of secrets?" I pressed, my mind racing. "And how do we stop them?" "There are legends about the key that date back centuries," Alex replied, their focus unwavering on the road. "It's said to unlock a chamber that holds knowledge, something that could grant control over forces that shouldn't be tampered with. If they get their hands on it, it could spell disaster." I glanced at Sarah, her expression fierce with determination. "We can't let that happen," she declared, her voice resonating with conviction. "We have to protect the key at all costs." "Agreed," I said, my heart swelling with pride as I looked at her. "We'll do whatever it takes to keep our family safe, together." As we drove deeper into the night, I felt a sense of purpose ignite within me. The past few years had been filled with darkness, loss, searching, despair. But now, with the key in our possession and our family together again, it felt like we were finally stepping into the light. After a while, we arrived at the safe house, a modest structure nestled among trees, far enough from prying eyes but close enough to civilization. I parked the car and we climbed out, the cool night air wrapping around us like a comforting embrace. "Stay close," I instructed Lily, squeezing her hand as we made our way to the entrance. The door creaked open, revealing a small living area filled with basic furnishings and supplies. It wasn't much, but it felt like a fortress, a sanctuary where we could regroup and plan our next steps. "Let's get settled," Sarah said, her tone a mix of authority and warmth. "We need to get organized." I nodded, feeling a surge of responsibility washing over me. "I'll check the perimeter," I said, moving toward the windows to assess our surroundings. I needed to ensure we were safe, that we wouldn't be caught off guard again. As I scanned the outside, my heart pounded in my chest. The darkness loomed, but I felt a flicker of hope igniting within me. We had each other, and together we would navigate whatever challenges lay ahead. "Daddy?" Lily's voice broke through my thoughts, and I turned to see her standing near Sarah, a worried expression on her tiny face. "Everything's okay, sweetheart," I assured her, kneeling down to her level. "We're safe here." "But what if those bad people find us?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. I took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "We'll be ready for them. We're a team, and we'll protect each other no matter what." Sarah stepped closer, wrapping her arm around Lily. "We have the key, and that gives us an advantage. We'll figure out how to use it to keep ourselves safe." As we settled into the safe house, I could feel the weight of uncertainty lingering, but with each passing moment, the bonds of our family felt stronger. We were united, ready to face whatever challenges awaited us. "Let's take a look at the key," I suggested, my heart racing at the thought of unlocking its secrets. I gestured for Sarah to bring it over, and she handed it to me, her eyes filled with curiosity. As I held the key in my palm, I could feel its weight, the history embedded within its intricate design. "What do you think it unlocks?" I asked, glancing at Sarah and Lily. "I don't know," Sarah admitted, her voice filled with wonder. "But I believe it's the key to understanding everything that has happened to us. Maybe it holds the answers to who is after us," I said, my mind racing, "and how we can stop them." With the key in hand, we gathered around the table, the air thick with anticipation. I could feel the tension in the room, the weight of our situation pressing down on us, but I also sensed a flicker of hope igniting within us. "Let's figure this out together," I said, my voice steady. "We'll unlock the secrets of the key, and then we'll take back our lives." As we began to examine the key more closely, I could feel a sense of purpose rising within me. The darkness that had once threatened to consume us was now a mere shadow, overshadowed by the light of our love and resilience. Together, we would face whatever came next, armed with the strength of our family and the promise of the future. The road ahead was uncertain, but with the key in hand and our hearts united, we were ready to take on the world. And as we delved into the mysteries that lay before us, I knew one thing for sure. Together, we would write our own story, a story of courage, love, and the unbreakable bonds of family, forged in the fires of adversity. The adventure had only just begun, and I was ready for whatever lay ahead. Together, we would uncover the truth and reclaim our lives, one step at a time. As we gathered around the table, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. I held the ornate key in my hand, its weight a constant reminder of the journey we had undertaken and the challenges that lay ahead. The intricate markings danced across its surface, whispering secrets of a past I was determined to uncover. I could feel the energy in the room shift, a palpable sense of purpose igniting within us. "Let's figure out what this key unlocks," I said, my voice steady. Sarah leaned in closer, her eyes filled with determination. "We need to examine the markings more closely. There may be clues that can guide us." Lily, perched on her chair, watched us with bright eyes, her small fingers tracing the edge of her teddy bear. The innocence she embodied was a stark contrast to the gravity of our situation, and I couldn't help but feel a surge of protectiveness wash over me. As we scrutinized the key, I felt a mix of hope and anxiety. "What if it leads us to answers?" I mused, glancing at Sarah. "What if it helps us understand who's after us?" "It has to," Sarah replied, her voice filled with conviction. "If we can decipher these markings, we might be able to find the chamber it unlocks, and that could give us the leverage we need to protect ourselves." Lily's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Can I help?" she asked, her voice bright with eagerness. "Of course, sweetheart," I said, smiling at her enthusiasm. "Every pair of hands counts." As we leaned over the table, I could feel the bonds of our family strengthening. The danger that loomed outside felt distant, eclipsed by the warmth of our connection. Together, we would face whatever challenges awaited us, armed with love and determination. "Let's start by mapping out the symbols," I suggested, pulling out a notepad and pen. "If we can identify them, we may uncover their meanings." With that, we began to sketch and analyze the markings on the key, the air thick with concentration. I could see the gears turning in Sarah's mind as she recalled fragments of knowledge from her past. "These symbols," she said, tracing a particularly intricate design, "they resemble ancient scripts I studied long ago. They might be connected to the legends of the key." "What legends?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. "There are stories of a hidden chamber, a place where knowledge and power converge," Sarah explained, her eyes alight with excitement. "It's said that the key can unlock its secrets, but only to those who are worthy." "Worthy," I echoed, uncertainty creeping into my voice. "How do we prove our worth?" Sarah's expression shifted to one of contemplation. "I don't know, but the legends often spoke of trials, tests of character and resolve. If we're going to find the chamber, we may have to face challenges along the way." "Like a quest?" Lily exclaimed, her face lighting up with excitement. "Exactly," Sarah said, a smile gracing her lips. "A quest to reclaim our lives and protect our family." I glanced at Lily, her spirit infectious. "And we'll do it together," I declared, my heart swelling with pride. "No matter what challenges we face, we'll face them as a family." With renewed determination, we continued to examine the key, poring over the markings and connecting dots. The symbols spoke to us in ways I had never anticipated, revealing layers of meaning that felt both ancient and profound. As we worked, the atmosphere shifted again, the weight of uncertainty lingering in the air. But I could feel the flicker of hope growing stronger, the bond between us solidifying with each passing moment. "There's something here," I said, studying a particular symbol that resembled a compass. "It may indicate a direction, or a location," Sarah added, her eyes narrowing in focus. If we can decipher this, it could lead us to where we need to go next. Lily leaned closer, her small voice filled with wonder. Can we go on an adventure? Yes, I exclaimed, my heart racing at the thought. We'll follow the clues and see where they lead us. As we delved deeper into the markings, I felt a sense of urgency rising within me. The danger we faced was still very real, and time was of the essence. We need to find out what this chamber holds, I said, my voice firm, and we need to do it before they catch up to us. Agreed, Sarah replied, her gaze steady, but we must be cautious. We don't know how far their reach extends. With a plan beginning to take shape, we gathered our supplies, the energy in the room crackling with excitement. The weight of the key felt lighter in my hand, a tangible symbol of the journey we were about to embark on. Let's get ready, I said, glancing at Sarah and Lily. We'll need everything we can carry. As we prepared to leave the safe house, I felt a surge of determination coursing through me. We were a family on a quest, united by love and resilience, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the key in hand, and our hearts aligned, we stepped into the unknown, ready to reclaim our lives and protect our family at all costs. The adventure had only just begun, and I was ready for whatever came next. Together, we would uncover the truth, confront the shadows of our past, and forge a future filled with hope and love. As we set out on our journey, I couldn't shake the feeling that the best was yet to come. Together, we would write our own story, a story of courage, unity, and the unbreakable bonds of family, woven together in the tapestry of our lives. The road ahead was uncertain, but with the key guiding us, I felt a flicker of hope igniting within me. We were ready to face whatever challenges awaited us, and together, we would uncover the secrets that had haunted us for too long. And as we ventured into the night, I knew one thing for sure. Our journey had just begun, and the possibilities were endless. Together, we would reclaim our destiny, one step at a time. The air felt charged with an electric anticipation as we ventured deeper into the woods, following the path laid out on Lily's crumpled map. Each step felt like a heartbeat, resonating with the promises we had made to one another. The trees towered above us, their branches interlacing like the protective arms of guardians watching over our journey. I stole glances at Sarah and Lily, feeling an indescribable blend of emotions swirling within me, relief, hope, and a lingering fear of what lay ahead. Is this where we're supposed to be? I asked, my voice steady as I scanned the surroundings. The map was a chaotic swirl of childish drawings, but it held the promise of a reunion I had craved for so long. It looks like we're getting close, Sarah replied, her eyes scanning the area with a mix of nostalgia and determination. The oak tree should be just up ahead. As we trudged along, I could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down on us. We need to be careful, I whispered, aware of the looming threat that had forced Sarah into hiding. You said there are people looking for you. What do we do if they find us? The question hung in the air, heavy with the potential for danger. I'll do everything I can to protect you both, she said firmly, her voice filled with a fierce conviction that ignited my own resolve. But we must stick together. If we stay united, we'll be stronger. That moment felt like a rallying cry, a reminder that we had endured so much already, and together, we could face whatever lay ahead. Lily, sensing the tension, piped up. Mommy, Daddy, look. She pointed excitedly towards a clearing just ahead, where the sunlight broke through the canopy, illuminating a majestic oak tree that stood like a sentinel over the land. My heart raced as we approached it, the memories flooding back of laughter-filled afternoons spent swinging beneath its branches. There it is, I breathed, awe washing over me as we reached the base of the tree. My childhood dreams of adventure raced back to me, mingling with the reality of our present. This place had witnessed our love, and now it was at the center of our quest. Do you remember this spot, Sarah? I asked, my voice tinged with nostalgia. Yes, she replied, her gaze softening as she looked around. This is where we dreamed about our future, where we believed anything was possible. Her words hung in the air, a reminder of the life we had envisioned together. But how do we find the key? Lily asked, tugging at my sleeve with curiosity. I knelt down beside her, feeling the warmth of her small hand in mine. Let's take a closer look at the tree, I suggested. Maybe there's something hidden here. As we examined the gnarled roots and the bark, I felt a sense of urgency wash over me. Lily, Does your mom have any other hints or clues about where the key might be? I asked, feeling the weight of the moment settle in my chest. She thought for a moment, biting her lip. She said something about a special spot near the roots, a place only we would know. The memory seemed to ignite a spark in her eyes, and I could see the determination blossoming within her. Then let's check there, I urged, feeling a surge of adrenaline as we gathered around the roots of the oak tree. We crouched low, inspecting the ground for any signs of hidden compartments or markings. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as we dug our fingers into the earth, our hearts racing with the hope of discovering something significant. Suddenly, Lily's fingers brushed against something solid beneath the surface. "I think I found something," she cried, her voice a melody of excitement. We all leaned in closer, the air thick with anticipation as she dug deeper. Soon, she uncovered a small, rusted box, its surface weathered by time but still intact. "Careful, sweetheart," Sarah said softly, her voice brimming with pride. "You did great." My heart swelled as I watched the bond between them flourish, the love that had endured through the trials of separation. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, and I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for this moment we shared. Lily lifted the box carefully, her tiny hands trembling with excitement. "What's inside?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. I gently took the box from her, my heart racing as I unlatched it. As the lid creaked open, I held my breath, anticipation flooding my senses. Inside, nestled among layers of faded velvet, lay an ornate key, its design intricate and beautiful, glimmering in the dappled sunlight. The sight brought tears to my eyes. It felt like a piece of our past had been reclaimed, a symbol of hope and unity. "This is it," I whispered, my voice thick with emotion. "This is the key." Sarah reached out, her fingers brushing against mine as she gazed at the key in wonder. "We have to be careful," she cautioned, her voice low but steady. "This key is more than just a piece of metal. It holds the power to unlock secrets that could change everything." "What kind of secrets?" I asked, my mind racing with questions. "What does the key unlock? And why would anyone want to hurt us?" "It unlocks a hidden knowledge, a way to access things that should remain untouched," she explained, her voice filled with urgency. "I had to go into hiding to protect you both. I couldn't let them find us. But when I realized I could use Lily to help me reach the key, I knew I had to send her to you. She's the only one who can help me find it." My heart sank as I processed her words, a whirlwind of emotions crashing over me. "So, what's the plan? How do we find this key?" I asked, my voice steadying as I grasped onto the thread of possibility. "We need to follow the map Lily found," Sarah replied, her eyes lighting up with determination. "It will lead us to the location where the key is hidden. But we have to be careful. Those people are still looking for me, and they won't stop until they find what they're after." A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. "All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. "I'll try." Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. "Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it." I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. "Yes, let's go to my office," I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. "All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say?" She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. "What do you mean, to keep us safe?" I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. Can you help me find her? Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her daddy. A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. I'll try. Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it. I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. Yes, let's go to my office, I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say? She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe. The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. What do you mean, to keep us safe? I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. Can you help me find her? Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her daddy. A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. I'll try. Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it. I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. Yes, let's go to my office, I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say? She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe. The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. What do you mean, to keep us safe? I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. Can you help me find her? Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her daddy. A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. I'll try. Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it. I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. Yes, let's go to my office, I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. "All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say?" She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. "What do you mean, to keep us safe?" I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. "Can you help me find her?" Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. "I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her, Daddy." A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. "All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. "I'll try." Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. "Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it." I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. "Yes, let's go to my office," I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. "All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say?" She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. "What do you mean, to keep us safe?" I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. "Can you help me find her?" Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. "I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her, Daddy." A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. "All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, to reassure her that she was safe with me. She nodded, her small face serious. "I'll try." Just then, a familiar voice broke through my thoughts. It was Lisa, standing a few steps back, her face etched with concern. "Sir, perhaps we should take this conversation somewhere private. I mean, if you're okay with it." I glanced at her, the reality of my situation crashing back over me. I couldn't conduct this conversation in a public space where prying eyes and ears could invade our private moment. "Yes, let's go to my office," I replied, my mind racing as I led the way, Lily's small hand clasped tightly in mine. Once inside, I closed the door behind us, sealing off the outside world for a brief moment, hoping to create a safe haven for my daughter and me. I motioned for her to sit on the plush chair opposite my desk, while I sat on the edge, leaning forward, eager to hear more. "All right, Lily, tell me everything. What did your mom say?" She took a deep breath, her expression shifting from uncertainty to resolve. "Mommy said she was trying to find something called the key, and it was very important. She said it was the only way to keep us safe." The mention of a key sent my mind spiraling. What kind of key? What was it meant to unlock? My heart raced as I pieced together fragments of a story that felt like an ancient myth. "What do you mean, to keep us safe?" I pressed, my voice barely more than a whisper. "Can you help me find her?" Lily looked up at me, her eyes shining with a mix of determination and fear. "I can, but we have to be careful. There are people looking for her, Daddy." A shiver ran down my spine. The word people sounded ominous, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this was bigger than anything I had prepared myself for. "All right, Lily, we will be careful, but I need you to tell me everything you know. Can you do that for me?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady.